I'm a boss chick, yeah, I'm a boss lady. I be calling shots, I be getting money. I'm a boss chick, yeah, I'm a boss lady. I be calling shots.
Hey, welcome to our podcast.
I look good naked.
I look good naked. I am Terri J. Vaughn.
I am Cas.
And we're happy you're here with us today. Yay! Big ups to you for being so smart to tune in to listen to two smart, brave, naked women.
Terri and her laugh.
That's my evil voice. my evil laugh.
It sounds like I've been smoking too much, too many cigarettes laugh. And you don't even smoke cigarettes.
At all. Never.
No, it's
Never.
bad. Nicotine is bad for you.
I puffed some weed.
Today?
No.
Oh, I mean, that's just a
Just
random
in life.
Oh, in life. That's so crazy. Well, that laugh doesn't sound like it's weed. That doesn't sound like a weed laugh. That sounds like
and I don't think I laugh
tar
when I
laugh.
smoke weed. Actually,
You probably do your little other silly laugh.
oh my God. I have remembered smoking weed before and not being able to stop laughing. Like,
I don't remember any of those things. I was in college. Like, I've never been big for like any sort of thing that alters my mind. I'm not a big drinker. I'm not a big anything because I feel like I make money with my brain and I'm scary. I'm afraid.
Doesn't everyone make money with their brain?
No, some people make money with their physical. Maybe their hands are more physical.
Well,
than
their
they
hands
are.
can't move without the direction from their
You know
brain.
what I'm trying to say. Okay. I'm afraid that if I partake in other things, I will not hear the voices anymore, and then I will not be able to write. That's what I mean.
Right. The voices will.
The
Maybe the voices just be high. You
Maybe.
write different kind of stuff.
I don't know if I
That
wanna
might
take
be
that chance.
interesting.
It could be. It could be great for me. I mean, there's a lot of comedians that are brilliant and they smoke and drink and that's how they get their brilliance. I'm afraid I'm going to lose mine. So I'm just scary like that. But
Okay.
speaking of brilliant artists. Oh, okay. So we got to start with our quote. Or we're starting with our...
What's your quote?
Or
What's your
maybe
quote,
we just talk about
Cass's
the brilliant
quote for
artist.
the day?
My quote for the day. My quote for the day actually goes with our segment. So I don't know if I want to talk about it yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me to highlight? That's your computer.
Yep.
Do you want me to? Let me get the lady
What
who we're
lady?
gonna highlight
There we
today.
are.
No, you took her from
I
me.
did because the volume, I didn't want the buzzing of my phone to...
So we're highlighting our woman that we are going to highlight today. We actually are pulling this from, we have some cards with some amazing Black history facts about women. But actually this one today that I'm going to read about, we are grabbing this from our girl, Nicole Ari Parker's post on her IG. So thanks, Nicole. You have given us our woman to highlight today.
Yes.
And her name is Ann Cole Lowe. Do you guys know who Ann Cole Lowe is? No, you don't, because I didn't either, but let me tell you who she is.
Somebody does, though.
Well, obviously, Nicole found her, and Nicole's smarter than me. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. Born in Alabama in 1898, the granddaughter of a plantation seamstress. She was married at 14 to a man 10 years her senior, and she soon left with her young son to make dresses for Southern society women. By 21, she had her own dress shop. By 31, she had $20,000 saved and she moved to New York. Get it, girl. In 1947, went to Paris Fashion Week. Yes. Upon her return, she got a job at Saks Fifth Avenue. Her dresses sold at Neiman Marcus. Henry, what is that, Bendel? I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, Henry Bendel's. And
Henry Bendel's and Saks. She was making up to $300,000 a year in 1950.
Can you imagine
what?
that? This is what I'm saying.
Yes, girl.
She's a millionaire, basically.
1953, she made Jackie O's wedding dress.
So did you guys know an African-American woman, a Black girl from Alabama, made Jacqueline Onassis Kennedy's wedding dress in 1950?
That's awesome.
That is an amazing thing.
I wish we
she was
were
still
really
so young.
I wish we were equipped to like press a button and get the hand claps, but we can do our own hand clap.
Oh, we can. For Ann Lowe.
Cole Lowe.
Yes, yay! I think we should start incorporating that into our woman thing. Like we give a hand clap.
Hand clap.
We
hand
need
clap.
a sound effect. Melissa Young, our amazing producer.
She's our everything. She's
clapback,
she's our sound.
clap.
She's our sound.
She's our
She's
producer.
our post.
She's our post production. She's our editor. She's our confidant. She's our y'all don't talk.
So
about
we
that
need
this
a
week.
sponsor because we need to be able to pay her something. She has a child that she has to support.
Right.
So sponsors, you need to sponsor I Look Good Naked so we can pay Melissa
Right.
for all the many jobs that she's doing for this podcast. So we're gonna highlight you one day, Melissa.
Melissa. Yay! All right. Can you imagine? Okay, so Ann Lowe got married at 14. First of all, I know people got married a lot earlier.
Yeah,
but
that was normal back then.
That was normal back then. But even at 14, she married a man that was 24. Was he 10 years her senior?
Mm-hmm.
And then started a business. Like I feel like the women back then were so much stronger. Like they just were doing things. It just doesn't seem like we I don't know. I just can't imagine at 16, I'm having my business. I'm running my business. I got my child. Got a store. I
can imagine that.
I can almost damn near almost can't imagine it at 40. I mean, I know I'm doing
I can't
that.
imagine it with my kids. I can't
that's
imagine
what I'm
them
saying.
having
You-
business.
with
But
those-
I can imagine myself. It's like I felt I was very innovative. I was very always wanting to like have a job, and I was weird. I wanted to work. I did. So I can see that for me.
I worked at the dance school. I
I didn't say you didn't
but I
work.
didn't know. But I wasn't that. I was an entrepreneur. Like, and even at 14, I was still a kid. Like that to me seems very grown up. But and I'm not saying
was
all
just
women
different.
aren't
It was a
like that. It
different
just seems
time.
it was a different time.
Yeah. It was like when you were 14, you were grown. She got married.
At 14,
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just a different time.
that doesn't mean we're weaker now.
We're a little whack. We're a little
No,
slow on the uptake.
We are a little slow. I mean, and then we're not raising our kids to be like independent at 14. We're not. They are so not independent
They
at
are so
14.
not independent.
That's just what I'm
Nobody's trying to
saying.
leave the house these days, which is crazy.
She left the house at 14.
I
Had a
couldn't
kid.
wait to leave the house.
That really was.
and buy my own car, and I couldn't wait.
You can't even text. If you're 16, you can't even text a girl who's 18 without going to jail. She's getting married at 14 to
Yeah,
a
what
man
times
that's
have changed?
24, and it's accepted, and you've moved on. And I know times have changed, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes we just are making our kids weaker and weaker and weaker.
Oh, I definitely believe that.
yeah.
I believe that because where I grew up, I can't imagine my kids growing up there. Oh my God, right now.
They're weaker now.
I know, and it's because we've been able to provide them with a different kind of lifestyle, as opposed to the life that at least I had to grow up in. Like coming home, it was just me and my sister. My mom was working 2 jobs, so we had to figure that shit out. And we lived in the hood, and we just had to figure it out. I can't imagine my kids
Figuring it
having
out.
to figure that out.
Yeah. They couldn't figure it out.
I'm not saying they couldn't, but they.
Well, it would be too late
not
now. Like,
Yeah, now.
you'd have to start
No.
with Lola. Like, right now, Lola could figure it out because you have to
I
stop.
think Lola could figure it
You
out
have to
right
stop
now.
doing stuff for Lola. Next year, when she gets ready to go to ice skating class, you need to be like, figure out how you're going to get the ice skating.
And she would be like, I got it.
Yeah, she'd be
Because
like,
that's her
"Okay."
favorite word. I got it. I got it.
You're right.
So maybe it's just the boys.
It is just
And
the
I
boys.
do feel like we baby our boys more, which is bad.
I feel like I baby both of my kids too much. Like my son washes his own clothes, he irons his own things.
That's good.
He makes up. Well, when I don't have to tell him like make up your bed, he cleans up. He started things a lot earlier, but I do applaud my husband for that because my husband, with his dad being in the military, he was kind of the man of the house. He had 3 sisters or 2
Right.
sisters at the house, his mom. So he started doing things a lot earlier. Where in my household, my mother
Was doing
ruined
everything.
us. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Edna,
'cause you
I
are
love
spoiled.
her. I love her to death, but I would not raise my children like my mother raised me. She did not, if we didn't want to eat it, she'd make us something else. If we didn't,
Yeah.
I did not earn my own clothing until I went to college. I did not wash any of my things until I went to college. Only thing I had to do in my home growing up as a child was dry the dishes. That's it. I didn't have to wash them.
Yeah,
I
you're
dried
lucky.
them.
You're
I was
such a
very,
bitch.
very lucky. I was very, very spoiled.
Yeah.
And it definitely did not translate well when I was out on my own. And
you had to learn that.
I had to learn it all over. I had to learn it. I had to figure it out.
Yep.
And so I felt like I was behind the learning curve trying to figure it out. And so I'm definitely different. When my kids don't want that food, I'm not cooking another meal.
And see, I get caught up. I do that. I'm
But
like,
it's- you
I'm
know
almost
what?
making like 2 or 3 different
But
meals.
I wonder if it's
Sometimes
because
at mealtimes.
you didn't grow up with that.
And that is the thing. And this is oh my God, this is a
the
big
cycle.
thing for me.
I grew up with it, so therefore I'm just like, that's bad. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You didn't grow up with it, so you're
So
like,
I'm trying
I
to
want
make
my
sure
kids to have
everybody.
it.
And this is the thing, we shop at Costco because we have, all these damn kids. But it's like I hate running out of stuff. Like I overload on stuff, so we never run out.
And it's because you grew up and you ran out
Yes,
of stuff. And
because
see,
we were
always had a
always
plethora
scarce.
of things.
So I'm always like we have so much toilet paper. We have so much paper towels. We have so much of everything because I just
guys
don't want us
do.
to run. Because I don't want us to run out.
Oh, see, I don't.
It's a
We'll have
thing.
one. We'll have one paper towel. We'll have one. I'll be like, oh, okay, whatever. We'll just go get another one. Is some wipes somewhere? Y'all go get some paper towels out the car in the glove compartment.
Oh, I'm overstocked.
Yeah, I'm not. But again, very blessed. So that's very interesting as we move into our topic of today about motherhood.
Yeah.
We didn't run out of stuff. Like we just didn't. I had 2 parents in the home, 1970s. My dad was working at a university. My mother was working.
So y'all didn't have government cheese?
No.
The big block of cheese?
Do you know the very first time I ever had to go into the WIC office is when I got pregnant with Brooklyn, and I was 39 years old, and I didn't have the pregnancy rider on my Blue Cross Blue Shield, so they wouldn't take. I was at Northside or wherever, and the lady was like, "Yeah, you don't have a pregnancy rider, so we can't cover this." And I was like, well, what am I going to do?
How come you didn't have a pregnancy rider?
Because I wasn't
Was it
planning
ever?
on having kids
That's all
ever.
I want you to say.
I didn't need that shit. I was like, pregnancy rider,
I
check
know.
that box. I'm never going to need that. And lo and behold, one day I look up and I am knocked up and I need it. And it was too late because then
It's
it was
knocked up at 39.
me.
That is not.
That was me. It was a knock up. It was a knock up because it was a surprise.
He was like, what?
I was like, why isn't my period coming? I don't understand.
That is hilarious.
It was like a after school moment. Yeah.
For a 39-year-old.
For a 39-year-old. I was a late bloomer. But,
Poor baby.
But yeah, man. And then I had to go in the office, and I remember sitting down with the caseworker. I was like, oh, okay, you got a caseworker.
Oh my God.
And she started talking to me and about all the stuff I could get. And she's like, okay, so do you want food stamps or do you want this? And I was just like, I can get free food? Like, I was so blown. My mind was
That is
blown. I was like, oh,
crazy.
this is what people have been doing. This is using this
So
system.
you've never been into Planned Parenthood?
In college. I went to
Okay.
Planned Parenthood in college.
Okay.
Once when I thought I had something. I was like, oh, my coochie's not right. Something's not right with my coochie. I need to go to Planned Parenthood. It's something tingling. I don't like it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was like,
you got that worked
I
out.
was a sophomore. And I had just started like having sex. Again, I was a late bloomer. I didn't even have sex till I went to college because I
You
was
are a late
scared.
bloomer.
I was scared I was gonna get.
So
I was scared I was gonna get trapped in Winston-Salem, North
Oh,
Carolina,
yeah.
with a
You didn't wanna do
baby. I
that.
didn't want to do that.
No.
So that I couldn't. I had to be good until I got out of Winston.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then once you got out of Winston,
Oh, world, look out. Yeah, it was a wrap, bruh. Yeah. But anyway, we're not talking about that today. We're not talking about our exploits. We're talking about motherhood.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yes. And so now that brings me to my quote of the day.
Okay.
My
What is
quote
your
of the day
Cass quote of the
Is
day.
by Jill Churchill.
Wait. Cass quote of the day sponsored by sponsors. This is another moment you could be.
Sponsored by Planned Parenthood. No, it's not. It's not really. So
Okay, go.
All right. Jill Churchill. She's an author. She's a writer. Lives in the Midwest. I think the Jane Jeffrey series is the name of her book series. I hope, or Jeff. Yeah, I think it is. Jane Jeffrey's book series. Jane Jeffrey book
So
series.
we need to look it up.
Maybe we do, but I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. But let me go to the quote. The quote is, there is no one perfect way to be a mother, but there are a million ways. Oh, excuse me. There's no one way to be a perfect mother, but there are a million ways to be a great one.
Yay.
Do I need to say
love
that
that
again? Because
quote.
I messed it up.
Yeah, say it again and then say who said it again.
Okay. There is no one way to be a perfect mother, but there are a million ways to be a great one. It's a quote by Jill Churchill.
Yeah, I feel like for that segment, you guys, we should have like violin strings when you say your quotes of the day. That's what I feel.
I used to play the violin. Did you know that?
Well, I think you should bring your violin. And
It
when
doesn't
you
have any strings anymore.
well, I think you should get some strings in your violin and then bring your violin. And I think that you should play that as you say your quotes. I think that would be really
I'll have to get some
good.
strings in my violin.
That's
I started playing the
nothing.
violin in seventh
could do
grade
that.
because of Charlie Daniels and the Charlie Daniels band. That tells you how white I was. I was a white black girl. Like, I used to love The Devil Went Down to Georgia. He was looking for heart steel. Like, that was my thing.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Charlie Daniels band, The Devil Went Down to Georgia?
No, don't know.
Oh,
Sorry,
my
why are
God.
you and Melissa looking at
Terri
me like
and I are so
have-
different.
We are.
We are so different.
Because
Like,
do
I
you
grew
know
up-
who DJ Quick is?
I absolutely do, because he had curls
You know
in
who
his hair.
E40 is?
I know who E40
What?
is too.
What?
See, I am diverse. I know who DJ Quick, E40, and the Charlie Daniels band is.
Yeah, I don't know the Charlie Daniels band. I know who
Yeah.
the Bee Gees are. I love the Bee Gees.
Well, everybody knows who the BJs are. BJs were kind of black. They were kind of, they played those on the R&B stations.
They were white boys, though.
They were
I
white boys, but they were like the Doobie Brothers. The Doobie Brothers, that
like
was
the
in that
Doobie
Blue-Eyed
Brothers.
Soul.
So you're not gonna tell me I don't know
You
white
know who
artists.
Carly Simon is?
I do.
Okay.
I know who Carly Simon is.
All right.
I know.
Who's your favorite
who
white artist?
Wham is.
Wham. Who's your favorite white artist?
Boy George.
Boy George is your favorite white artist?
No.
I think that Sam Smith
Oh, I think Sam Smith
is Boy
Smith looks
George.
like Boy. They look alike.
I think that's
I'm
his
sure
son.
he hears that all the time.
I think that he
Is
had a
it?
son and he didn't want to tell us about it.
Because he was so gay. Because he was
Yep.
so proud of being gay.
Yep.
And
I
he
don't
didn't want
know.
people to know that he actually got it with a girl.
Yep.
And got her pregnant. And now Sam is his son. But
Gotta be
wouldn't-
proud though.
Right. Right.
Anyway,
Just making
go back
stuff
to your
up.
favorite white artist. It has nothing to do with motherhood.
know. I mean, I like Kenny Rogers. I like
Oh, you did? Give me your favorite Kenny Rogers song.
which he did a lot of
He did a lot of duets.
Duets.
With Dolly Parton.
he did duets with Dolly Parton. He did duets with did he not do one with Donna Summers?
Yes, he did. I don't remember the song though. I can't remember.
Yeah, he
the
did a
song.
lot of duets with
with people.
black people.
Yeah.
So he was soulful. So I don't know. I can't come off the dome
tell you,
with the
I
song.
can.
Which one?
Lady,
Yeah, there we go.
you're my knight in shining armor, and I love you.
Yes.
Yeah, I again.
See, I know.
I-
I know.
Okay, anyway.
I know.
You don't know. You don't know. What's your
I
favorite
know.
DJ Quick song? Bet you know that shit off the
I
dome.
don't. I can't think of nothing off the dome. Since I had kids, talking about motherhood.
Oh, okay.
Since I had
Oh, yeah,
kids,
your mind.
I can't remember shit. Nothing. I can't remember.
What happens? Do you think it falls out with your placenta? Part of your brain cells?
Yeah, I think that some of your brain cells are used. This is my theory. I think that some of my brain cells are used in the development of the fetus.
Oh, that's a good theory. I think
I
so,
do.
too.
I think so. So it takes pieces of your brain and it gives it to the fetus. That's why mothers should always be celebrated, because we have to sacrifice so much of ourselves.
I sacrifice. I sacrifice my language, my tongue, my speech.
I'm getting hot. Melissa,
No.
do you mind if I take this?
I
It's hot.
feel like Brooklyn took some of my sex appeal. She took my sexy. Like,
You're still sexy.
yeah, but I was hot sexy. Now I'm like mama sexy.
You mean because of your figure?
No,
Or you mean
your
your jaju?
your jajum. I think I gave her some of my jajum, and when I watch her now and I see her move in her day, I be like, "Dang on my damn jajum."
Yeah.
I don't have it no more.
Yeah. Oh,
Tonight.
tonight.
Yeah.
DJ Quick tonight. I
Oh,
would
she
start
all
singing
late.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
But,
not.
you know, she only knows the chorus. Tonight.
No, I don't. I know. If
You
you,
don't-
start
you know
the
the-
song,
you know
I'll
that whole
know the
song?
whole song. I always
Hilarious.
need the song to start, and then I can go
That's
in
funny.
and I can just rip that. Yeah, I can. I'm a good rapper too.
2.
I am. I'm a good rapper. There are many things I'm really good at, and rapping is one.
Oh, okay.
If I'm rapping somebody else's song, like I can't rap my own thing.
So you're not a good lyricist. You're just a good. You're a copycat rapper. You're a good lip sync rapper.
No, it's called. What do you do? A cover. I'm a good cover rapper.
Good cover rapper.
Yeah.
That should
Absolutely.
Be a show, the cover
rap. I think there is. They do the lip sync or
they're just lip syncing.
No,
they're not actually saying the words.
No, yeah. I'm a good cover rapper. Like I take that reward.
What's the karaoke?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You kill karaoke and rap. Karaoke rap.
Yes. Yeah. But I like to sing along with the folks because they give you they've been giving you all
the artists.
With the artists, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you just don't want that bland instrumental.
But I
music.
can though.
Okay, well that'll be another day. Another day we're gonna do
a rap battle.
Cover rap battle.
Yes, we'll do a rap battle. Look, Melissa is on it.
Right. She's pulling up lyrics.
Yeah, I gotta hear it.
Okay, that's the day for our cover rap.
We're gonna do a cover. Yes,
we're gonna do a cover rap battle contest. We're gonna have to have a guest for that.
Okay.
Like it's got to be a real rapper. Like it's got to be like Big Boy.
Okay.
Or somebody, and he's gonna judge.
Yep.
Okay.
That'll be so fun.
That is. I'm gonna win.
Just cause. So that's funny because that's something that my brain still keeps.
Rap lyrics?
It's music. Well, I think music. That's the power of music, though.
That is the power of music.
Because music, it sticks with you. You learn those words.
But that math and those ABCs.
Hilarious.
Nope, not so much.
So do I think that having kids took my sexy? Actually, when you were pregnant, did you not feel sexy?
No.
Oh my God, I did.
No,
I felt so sexy and so sexual when I was pregnant.
I think you were excited about being pregnant.
Yeah,
I think that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Like you were wanting to be pregnant because it's all mental. You wanted to be pregnant. You were excited about being pregnant. You just were like, oh, I'm Mother Nature and I'm Mother Earth and the sun and the trees and just I'm giving birth. And I was just like, yo, what is going on?
Right.
That was my whole pregnancy mantra.
What is going on?
Oh God, what is going on with everything? So I just didn't have a very good pregnancy, and I hate that because I can't do over what I did, and I don't never gonna have another child to relive it again. So it's just what it is. It is what it is. So I felt different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely did enjoy being pregnant. I will say that though, I have 3 kids, 16, 9, and 3. And I will say, having all those little rascals it's draining. So I don't have that energy to feel sexual, like since having them. That's for sure.
Yeah, because it drains you.
Yeah,
you don't have the carefree-esque feeling that you had before you had kids. It's like everything now is a forethought. Before kids, you didn't really have to think about things, the after effect, the outcome. You just did you were just so much freer in your thought, in your thinking, in yourself, in your body. Where now I feel everything that you do could have an effect on your children, so therefore you are slower with your thought process. Everything is much more calculated, and which makes you less free, which makes you less inhibited,
right?
And all of those things
so
that you
unsexy.
had, and that is definitely unsexy, and that's usually the thing that the man falls in love with, their inhibitions and the come on, let's go do it in the closet and the this, and now it's like, okay, you gotta do it in the okay, boy, did the baby eat? Okay, what if they come in? Okay, lock the door. Where are they? What are they gonna do? It just turns it into
iPad
something. Are the earphones on? You gotta be quiet. Like it just turns into a production. It's like a production every single time.
Yeah.
Who has time to produce sex every time you do sex? Every time you do sex. You got to produce it. It's a pre-production. You got the whole lock the door. You got the pre-production. Then you got the principal photography, which is the actual doing it. You got your post-production. You got to hurry up on your cleanup mode, or you got to get to the bathroom. You got to do this because somebody's calling your name, or it just turns into a whole thing. You can't lay in it like you used to. You're like, you can't do any of that.
It's funny. Yeah, it's because when it's quiet in the house at night, when the kids are asleep and then that's when we're so tired.
Right. You're exhausted. Your work is done for the day.
It's like that's when we're so tired.
And in the morning, your alarm, it's like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
God, we got to get the
No.
kids going.
Yeah.
So back to motherhood, man, it's something. It is definitely something different.
It is. But it's such a great it's a great training and learning space.
For what?
For everything. I've learned so much from being a parent, from being a mother. I learn from my kids. They're beyond learning patience, learning how to juggle a couple of things at a time. But I learned really watching Lola. She I learned, okay, I can be free. I can be she just watching her be so free and so just demanding and expecting. It's like, that's how I'm supposed to be.
See, that's how I used to be.
But that's
the opposite.
Right,
Changed.
but it's an example of what we need to get back to. That's how you live so free and be happy. You just expect to get what you want. You say what you want and expect to get it.
Kids are the best salesmen.
Yes.
Yeah, because Brooklyn is an amazing salesman. Kingston was an amazing
And
salesman.
it's called manipulation.
And relentless. They don't give up. It's
No.
like, I want this juice. I want this juice. I want this
that
juice.
juice.
When are you going to give me the juice?
Yes.
Are we out of juice?
And
Can we go to the store? and get
Okay,
the juice?
here's the damn juice.
Right.
And that's how they get it.
Right.
So that's how we have to be in life about what
Right.
we want.
So I was like, I want to get this film funded. I want to get this film funded. I want to get our studio done. I want to get this. I want to get that. And you just have to keep saying
You have to keep saying it.
Yeah.
And keep expecting that you're going to get it.
Right.
It's like, why wouldn't I get it? I asked for it. Mom, I asked for the juice.
Right.
What are you doing? Mom, I've asked for it. Mom, I'm crying.
But you know what
I
the
need
difference
the juice.
is? And this is what's interesting, I guess, and this doesn't pertain to motherhood, but I think when we become adults or we become parents or what have you, then the source by which we ask for things becomes intangible. And the source when kids ask for things is actually there. So you're
Right.
like, hey, you can see it, which all leans to faith. So
Right.
as much, the older you get, the more faith you have to have, because
Yeah.
kids don't understand the faith thing.
Right.
All they know is there's a person here. That person is going
It's
to provide
supposed to give me
everything
what I want.
I need in
Right.
life.
Right.
And as adults, you get older, that person, you have your parents. Obviously, some people still live with their parents and they expect the same thing. But for those who get out the house and they have to actually start relying on themselves to provide what they need, then now they're relying on a higher being to provide what they need along with their self. And therein lies a lot of the
Disconnect.
disconnect and the insecurity in,
Yeah.
in it being provided for them.
Right. That's true. That's true.
You know,
But
if God was walking around like in our house with his sandals on, with his disciples, and we had extra space, I think we would be much more apt to be like, "Hey, Jesus,
I asked for that. Where is it?
Jesus, where my money, Jesus?"
Where is it?
Right.
I said, then you said I have it. Where is it?
Right.
I'm crying right now. Can I get it?
I'm crying right now, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm crying. I'm actually crying. These are tears.
Right.
Give it to me.
Right. And he's like, "Okay, my child."
Yes. Like, you're getting on my nerves here. Okay, take it.
But that is really what happens. We just
Yeah.
can't see it.
Right. So, yeah. So we should learn that that is still the space we're supposed to live in, that
Right.
expecting.
Right.
So we have to, like you said, it is a matter of faith. So they're living the example, and we're supposed to find a way to tap into that as adults with our
Right.
God and expect it in
Like,
the same
In
way.
the same way.
Without any
Before the end of the day, you are going to go to the store and get me what I need.
yes.
Yeah.
And I expect that.
All right. I'm going to tell you what I learned. I learned that, which is very interesting from someone who didn't really want to have kids. Never wanted to have kids. Was in relationships with guys that was trying to knock me
Why
up.
didn't you want to have kids, Cass?
I don't really, because I felt like they were going
You're
to just slow me
selfish.
down. That's
were
what
just
I've
selfish.
learned.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned. Like, I really was just like, this person that I now have to be responsible for. I loved the freeness of my career. I traveled. I did everything was on a whim, and I've always lived my life like that. Even when I was growing up in the summers, I wanted to go hang out with my grandma. I wanted to go hang out with my aunt in New York. I wanted to go, and my mother allowed me to have such a freedom of go do, be. You want to be a dancer, go be a dancer. You want to study school of the arts, go study school of arts. You want to go do this, you want to do that, you want to teach dance. And she encouraged me to be so much that I had friends. I grew up in a very small town, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, shout out. And several of my friends had kids, and I saw how their life changed. And they had to start working at Winn-Dixie, and they had to start working at the grocery store. And I looked at that and I was like, well, that's just horrible. I don't want to be trapped in doing that. So that mindset followed me even after I became an adult, and I felt like kids would trap me.
Right. That makes sense.
And if you know anything about me, I'm the person who does not want to be trapped.
That's right.
So beyond the selfishness of it, it just felt like a death sentence. And I hate to say that, but even the men that I was involved with before my husband, they would like talk about kids. And when they talked about kids,
you were out of there,
girl. And I would date guys with kids, but I was always like, well, they still your kids. Like this is still temporary. Like once it's all said and done, I might buy them a few gifts and they're cute and everything, but
they ain't mine. I can still go to New York if I want to. I can
still walk away.
Right.
I still had that option. And I knew that having such great parents, if I had a child, I would never walk away from that situation.
Right.
So, but having them, years later, I ended up meeting a man, and that's the man I married. And that man had a son and had full custody, physical custody of his son. And when he met me, there were two things. I was like, you're going to have to stop smoking those Black and Milds. That's something I don't want you to do. And he's like, well, I want to have a baby. And those were our two things that we talked about on our first date. It was like, I want to have a baby. And I'm like, yeah, I can't have a baby, cigarette boy, with you, because that's nasty. And so I remember telling him, I was like, well, I'm almost 40, so I ain't gonna be having no baby. Like, ain't no babies coming up out of here. And I got fibroids and thyroids, and I just got, other complications, and I'm not gonna have one. And if I do, I'm gonna have one before I get 40. I'll tell you that. And then I end up getting pregnant on birthday. And I had my daughter May 7th, and I turned 40 2 weeks later.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, God, well, now I have a kid. And what I've learned from that, and now I have two, because I also have my bonus son, Kingston, who was my son. And he was 4 at the time. And what I have learned having kids is how selfish I was. Because I had friends, your friends love you for who you are. They love you unconditional. So it becomes, that's just Terri. That's how she is. That's just Cas. That's how she is. And you take your flaws for what they are, and you really don't improve upon them, because
you don't have to.
You don't have to. You don't have to. When your friends get tired of you, they walk away from you. They be like, oh, okay, I'm tired of her selfish ass. Or, I would support people from afar, but I've always been in my space, in my head, in my own little world, in this cosmopolitan thing, but I've always had my own bubble. And I liked my bubble, and I didn't want you coming in my bubble, and I didn't go out of my bubble much. But when I did, had fun, but then I went back into my bubble. Can't do that with kids.
Yeah.
And my husband told me one day, I'll never forget it. We were in the kitchen doing something, and I'm writing in my head, but I'm cooking, but I'm not involved. And he just tapped me on my shoulder. He was like, hey, I need you here. They need you here. Like, the kids need you here. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm here? And he's like, you are not here. And I was like, oh, I'm a horrible mother. I'm not here. I'm not present. And since that day, I have had to consciously work on being present.
Yeah. And
work on not being selfish.
Yeah.
And out of that came a lot of other blessings of, oh, okay, this selfishness thing, like, this applies across the board. Like, if I open myself up to other people and other things, and I may become a better person. And
right.
That's probably the biggest lesson I've learned, that there are other people in the world
besides you and your bubble and the people
bubble.
In your head.
I know that sounds really crazy, but that, I promise you,
it makes sense.
That was what I learned most about my biggest flaw. Like, kids will teach you how flawed you are.
And I knew I wanted to have kids. I knew I wanted to have a family. Like, I grew up in a single parent home, my sister and my mom, and I wanted different. I wanted to have kids with a man that I loved, and be a wife and have a husband, and we have these kids. So I always knew I was going to have that. So I was primed to be a mommy.
Primed.
Yeah. I was destined to be somebody's mommy.
Yeah. You want what you don't have.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
wanted
you
that.
don't grow up with.
But then the other side of me is I always wanted to be, have my own business and be a boss. I've always wanted that. And I just always knew that I could have it. I can have it all. I can have both. So that's how I operated through life, that I was going to have both. And that is just how it was going to be. And, the tricky thing about, how your quote said, there's, what was it?
There's no one way to be a perfect mom.
Right.
But a million ways to be a great one.
So finding that balance for both sides of me, the side that loves being the boss and having my own business. And, there's a lot that goes with that. That takes a big chunk to make that work. And then being a parent and a wife, that takes a big chunk of you too to make that work, right? So I think that, for me, being able to have both sides and trying to fulfill both sides keeps me busy. It keeps my mind and everything busy, which I like. I feel like I would be bored if I didn't have one or the other. If I was just focusing on business and career, I think that I would get bored.
I don't think I would, but
I think
I
I
don't
would.
know.
And if I just was a wife and a mother, I think I would get bored. I need the challenge.
You need the challenge
both.
of balancing both.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I don't. There are days I enjoy the challenge. There are days that I wish I had one or the other. There are days that I'm watching gymnastics or I'm running around and I'm like, oh, this is good. Like, this would fill my day. I wish I could do more. I wish I could be involved more with my kids. And I'm super involved. I'm like a room parent.
You are.
I'm volunteering.
You
I'm baking goods and taking them to the school.
Hence,
and doing
this
that.
is why we're always tired.
Yeah.
It's because we're doing a great job at both sides.
Yeah.
So that is draining.
But
But we have to find that part for us, though. Like how you take care of yourself.
Yeah,
because
that's the part
you
that
got
lacks.
to do
I just
that.
started yoga.
Which is really
All
good.
of my
and
friends
I'm
are
so
so
proud
happy
of you.
for me.
Oh my God.
Everybody in my
I
life
am
is
so
just that knows
excited.
that. They're so excited because they were like, you really need
Yes. Yes.
You got to get that mind under control, Cass.
You do. You do. I love it.
I'm starting it. So I've been, I'm 3 classes in and we'll see how it goes.
Are you loving it?
I am. I'm enjoying it because it's not one of those zen, everything is so quiet and peaceful. It is, we listen to like 80s tracks and they have different themes and it is, it's fun. So I'm right now starting with the, I forgot what they call it, like strong yoga, strenuous yoga. They don't even use the regular yoga terms, which I love too. We have this position, like the position that I don't even know what the yoga position is called, but we call it superstar, and they have the superstar position and different things.
Funny.
And so it makes it fits my personality.
Right.
What doesn't fit my personality is zenning all the way out.
And that is what I need. I like that.
And I probably need that.
I was just going to say that, and I think you need a bit of it.
That. Like they do it at the end.
Do.
They do the chill part at the end, but it's not 50 minutes of zenning out because then I would walk out.
Right.
I can't zen out for 50 minutes. I'm out in 10, 15 because now I'm bored. It just doesn't work with my ADD and bipolarism that we're still trying to figure out if I have or not.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know. But.
Yeah. A while ago, I stopped looking at my phone first thing in the morning. Like there's things that I had to implement so I knew that I wasn't just jumping into the day. So I don't look at my phone the first thing in the morning. I don't turn my ringer on or anything until I've read my Bible and had my little meditation time.
You're very good at that.
So I just won't do it. And sometimes, if I'm rushing up and trying to get the kids ready, and I won't get to my Bible time and probably an hour or 2 hours after I've gotten up, but I still will not turn that phone on until after I've had that moment. And then I turn my phone on and, try to get with it. So I do try to keep certain things to just keep a little, meditation and balance
I
for
listen
me.
to my Abraham Hicks in the morning. I do like Abraham Hicks. I have certain like Tony, not Tony,
Robbins.
I wasn't about to say. I do like him too, but Wayne Dyer is more my guy. So I have certain regiments, but I'm definitely not as disciplined. That's definitely discipline, which again goes back to having kids and being a mother. Is another thing that is a challenge for me, just being disciplined. Because again, discipline reminds me of just being trapped, reminds me of just having this. But I think there is power in discipline. And the people, people who fast and people who go on these missionary trips and these things
And
that
I
require,
wish I could do that more.
But I'm
Oh my
saying
God.
they
So I
require
fast.
great discipline.
I do fast, but I always wish that I could spend more time like going out on retreats. I want to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Like,
But I want you to come with me.
I know you do, and I
I
cannot.
really do. I want you to come. I wanted to go on a retreat. We're going to do
I don't know.
I Look Good Naked
Yeah.
podcast retreat, and we're going to take the whole crew. And what is it? Machu Picchu.
What is
Am
that?
I saying that right? Machu Picchu? What is that, Melissa?
Right. You sound like you just cussed us out.
Tell me what it is. So I
Machu
can tell the
Picchu,
people.
bitch. Machu
Yeah.
Picchu. You sound like
Right.
you cussed us out in Hawaiian.
Oh, it's
See?
in Peru. It's
Well, we definitely
got to
get sponsors if we go into Peru. Can they hear you?
No, but I'm gonna tell them what she's saying.
Oh, okay.
Salcante journey in Peru.
Our
So
producer
is
is
it
very smart.
She's
She just
super
knows
smart.
a lot of stuff.
So do they do this retreat? Is it ongoing throughout the year? So you just sign up.
What do you do at this retreat?
And how expensive is it? So we have to tell our sponsors how much they
so
need
we
to
need to talk
sponsor.
about this.
It's about-
Motherhood.
Did you say 30 grand? Oh, $3,000. I was going to say 30 grand. They could keep that mountain and shove it.
We can go to Blue Ridge. we can go to Blue Ridge for a tank
Go
of
in my
gas.
backyard. We got a big backyard. So I definitely want to do that. So Melissa, you and I will go on the retreat.
Yep. Y'all go
And we'll
ahead.
drag this one because I feel like I worry about my friend Cas. I feel like
She
her
does.
brain fries in overtime because it's never off and
It's
all.
never off.
And I just want to drag her somewhere to where she's just forced to have that damn brain off for a minute. So that's what I want to do. I think all mothers need to take a retreat moment
They have Machu Picchu
for
adventures
themselves.
for themselves. $317.
Well, the one we want to do, Melissa said, is $3,000.
These retreats are very important
Yeah.
to being a great mother because you have to take time for yourself in order
Absolutely.
to be able to give to others. You have to replenish.
Now, can we talk about the bullshit stuff that gets on your nerves as a mother and wife? Because I have a list.
Oh, now we're adding the
made a-
wife. I think that's its own
I
podcast.
made a list. Well, this is well.
Yep.
These are things that go on in my household that get on my damn nerves. Who puts empty boxes back?
Kids. I just found an empty cereal box.
I mean, I'm serious.
And I found an empty
Just
trail,
in the cabinet,
box. Yep.
like it's good. You can enjoy it. Like that box is there. You can
Yep.
grab this box and pour you some cereal.
Yep.
You pick that box up. It's completely empty.
You know what I do when my kids do that?
who does that?
You know what I do when they do that? Because mine have done that. Now I use those big containers for the cereal and I pour them in
You're
or whatever.
so fancy.
But
She's so
you know why?
fancy.
Because
And
I'm trying to
sometimes
get.
she's make me feel so ghetto. I do not have
Well,
that.
sometimes you are a little bit more ghetto than I am, but again, Charlie Daniels Band, Kenny Rogers. This is where I grew up. My parents were educators. We were like the Cosbys, you know. In fact, that's what they used to call us.
The Cosbys.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But we were nowhere like. My parents did not have Cosby money.
we were more like good.
And there you have it, Nina Holiday, ladies and gentlemen. Good times.
Where good times
And
meets
right, the
the Cosby
Cosbys.
Show.
There you have it. Yeah. But when my kids do that, when my kids put things back in the cabinet and they just leave the boxes there, I'll go 2 weeks and purposely not buy that item.
Oh, and
because
just
then
leave that box there.
Yeah, I'll leave the box there, and then when they ask why, it's Mom, we're out of whatever. And I'm
No,
like,
there's a
the
box
box
right
in the
there.
cabinet. Well, it's empty. Oh, I didn't
Oh,
know.
yeah, that's a good. I'm taking that.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know. I didn't
taking
know
that.
it was empty.
I'm leaving them
Because you
empty
left the
boxes
box
up in there.
So now you just don't have that to eat. You'll get around to it because they will do that with syrup.
That's a good one.
Because we use organic. Like I do not like Aunt Jemima. I'm sorry. I don't like any of the syrup that's not real. So I like real maple syrup because I just started looking at the ingredients. And
Well,
they
the
were
funny
all
thing
not real.
is, I get maple syrup for myself. The
I
organic
used
maple
to,
syrup.
but then the kids start eating it,
they
and it's
get
like
that Aunt Jemima shit.
$19.99. I don't. So now that goes to another thing. Why do you let your kids put things in their bodies that you wouldn't put in your body?
Because they're
'Cause
young.
their body can take it?
Their body can take it. When I was their age, I ate all that crap too.
We ate Kool-Aid. We drank Kool-Aid.
I did too. I used
All
to have
day.
Kool-Aid all the time.
Yeah, but
That
I
was
would not
exactly
let
what I
my
ate.
kids drink Kool-Aid.
Every blue moon, they'll have a Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
We'll have some Kool-Aid.
I drink sodas.
Maybe once.
And my
never.
kids never drink sodas. I did
Oh,
drink sodas growing
no.
up. Yeah.
I don't drink soda.
No, growing up, you drink?
Kind of. I did.
I don't do
but
it
I
now.
haven't remembered the last time I had soda.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't let them drink soda.
Yeah. So
Absolutely not. What else do they do that get on my nerves?
what do they do that gets? I hate when you have to tell them things over and over again. Like, and I know that that's very common for kids, but again, I want my kids to kind of be like adults, and I don't like saying
Things over and over
something
again.
over and over again.
Let me
I
tell you
do
what
not
that does.
like
that I don't either, and it triggers me. So I'm telling you to do it. Go.
We
clean
need a
your
sound
room.
effect for that.
Go clean your room. Go clean your room.
Yeah.
Go clean your fucking room. Then they start moving.
Oh, do you cuss at your kids?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I don't cuss at my children.
Oh, I do. When they need it, when they deserve that shit,
Anthony
they get
does.
that shit.
Anthony does. He
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
does. He's
Oh
like
yeah,
straight-
not in regular conversation. Like,
Marine.
damn, what the fuck y'all do today? Not like that, but
when they trigger
when
her,
they trigger it, they need it.
yeah,
They need it, and they get it.
that's funny.
And they start moving. And I always say, why do you guys make me curse at you? Why do I have to go there to get you to move? Why? I try not to curse y'all out,
Yeah, I
but you
feel
won't
bad.
move until I curse you out. So
Right.
get the fuck in your room and clean it up. And then they go and they get all these serious looks on their face. But they laugh at me. My kids laugh at me. Those boys. They do. I think they start laughing. They enjoy seeing me lose my top.
You know why? Because they're
They
men.
get on my nerves.
Men do that. Men
Oh
want
my
to see you lose your
God.
top. Men don't act right until you pull a knife out on them.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't act right.
That is what I'm
They don't
saying.
act right till they be like, oh, this bitch gonna cut me from
Yes.
Well, that's what
That is
little boys
another
are.
tip for girls.
Pull a knife
women.
out on your nigga.
Yeah, you want them to act right. Let them see you go cray cray.
Yeah.
They'll shape up real quick.
Yeah. They be
For
like, oh,
sure.
I'm gonna have to leave, or I'm going to get killed, or I'm going to act right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they act right. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And then do your kid, and I'm not going to even put this all on the kids because I know my husband does it too. Leave the top open on the wipes and then so the wipes get dried out.
Yes.
That shit bothers the hell out of me.
Yep. Husband and kids do that. They definitely do
That bothers me.
But
I'm
what's
like,
amazing
'cause
is
you
when
know
you
how
have a
easy
little
it is to
girl,
close?
it's not even kids. I think that's a male woman thing.
Do you know how easy it is to close?
They don't
It's no
care.
effort.
They don't care.
There's no effort, Cass.
There's no
You
care.
pull it out and closes.
Every morning, do you know what I have in my house?
Oh my God.
Every morning when I wake up, this is what I hear. I hear Brooklyn get up. I hear her go to the bathroom if she doesn't come out our room first. And then the next thing I hear is, Kingston, why didn't you flush the toilet? Almost every single morning.
Yeah.
Then she doesn't want to flush his toilet. So then she comes into my room and goes and uses my bathroom
'Cause
as
she's not
opposed to
using
just
the
unflushed
unflushed
toilet.
toilet.
It doesn't matter what's it. Number one, number two, it doesn't matter. She will not use it because
It's
he
not
did not
flushed.
flush it. And so I don't know if the wipes, but she will go and shut if the wipes are open, she'll go and pick up and clean up. So I don't know if that's a kid thing or a male, if it's
I
a
think
sex
it's all
thing.
of it.
I don't know.
I definitely think it's a sex thing.
Yeah,
It's
so I don't know.
The male species. They're so fucking.
And this
That
is another
male
thing that
species.
gets on my nerves that should not get on my nerves. This is when I have to start talking about moms and being a bad mom and a good mom. And I hate to use the word bad and good, but I'm definitely not that mom that was like, oh my God, kids, I love them. They're just the best. And I just don't think that that's real. I think we just shame moms into feeling like we have to love our kids all the time. And if not, then you're not a good mom. And
I don't know anybody that said, everybody I know, they know their kids get on their nerves sometimes.
I do not like, this is bad what I'm about to say. I don't like if I pick my child up and I am on the phone or I have a conversation, there's something already going on in my life, and she feels entitled enough to interrupt what's going on in my life.
Absolutely not.
To tell me about what Renisha did today in school. I don't care what Renisha did. I don't care what none of them little kids in your classroom did. Yeah, because what I'm doing now is I'm on the phone or I am listening to this song right here. I want to finish listening to my song. And then when it's your time, I will allow you to speak on whatever it is. But kids, again, going back to being the ultimate salesman, going back to being entitled. And this is kind of that sacrifice. But that's what I'm working on, because I don't like that sacrifice. I don't like that you have to tell me for 30 minutes. Like, I feel like you should synopsis your day. You should wrap your day up in a nice little log line.
No.
Tell me what your day was, wrap it up, and then we get on to something else.
No.
But this is why I'm saying I need to work on my parenting skills.
Yeah. That is why I try to finish up all them calls and everything.
You rushing your shit for your kids. I'm not doing that.
Before I go pick her up. It's really just Lola before I pick her up, because I don't think it's fair that once I put her in the car and I'm like, shh, I'm on the phone. I don't think that's fair.
It probably isn't fair. But I
think I should allow her time to express about her day and ask me questions or whatever. I think I should allow that time. But it does get on my nerves if I'm on the phone, just, in another situation, then I'm on the phone, or if I'm in conversation with somebody and they come up and just start talking. Like, absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't
Where
like
is the excuse me or something that I
don't even really want you to say excuse me, because unless it's an
like,
emergency, just wait.
Wait. You're right. They should
just
wait.
wait. And they need to learn. They need to start learning patience. Like, kids don't have patience.
No.
So if you don't teach kids patience, then they grow up being impatient. Like, kids have to learn some of the fundamentals of life. And I think I remember even my mother-in-law, some of my other family members saying, wow, you never really treated your kids like kids. Like, I never really babied them.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I just didn't really want babies. So I was like, what you're not going to do is get goo goo gaga. Like, that's not about to happen. We're about to have a regular conversation. I need you to talk as soon as possible.
Yeah, I never did the goo
get your
goo gaga
vocabulary up at 2 years old so we can have a nice conversation. And you need to understand.
That's definitely true.
And my children are very well spoken. They understand. Just talk to them.
Yep.
And I know a lot of kids that are my daughter's age, and they're still kind of babies in the mind.
Yeah.
Like, because they never was able to have these conversations. But it's almost like we live in a world and a society today where you really can't baby your kids, because there's no filter in the world. Like, you can go out of your side of your house and you will see there are topics that demand conversation immediately.
And
my
you gotta have them.
My daughter at 5 years old really wanted to know why two girls, we were in Atlantic Station, and she's like, okay, those two girls are holding hands. Why are they holding hands? Is it okay for two girls to hold hands? Is that bad? Are they going to get in trouble? And she had a litany of questions that at that time had to be addressed. And she was 5 years old. And we're not in a world where you're like, that's grown folk business. Stay out of that.
Yeah,
our parents did.
You can't do that.
You can't do that now.
Absolutely not.
So parenting
I don't think
is
you should
different.
have ever done that.
But kids did. That's kind of like because I said so.
Yeah.
It's like we're almost past the because I said so moment. I would love to be able to go fall back on that as a parent, like, because I said so, because it's easy. It's a cop out. You're just like, I don't want to think about it. Plus, you need to know I'm authoritative.
And whatever I say, just do it.
Goes. There
are moments I do say that.
But if you do that, there's still the way they can look things up so easily. Like, we couldn't look things up. Like, we had the freaking, I'm about to age myself, but we had a Dewey Decimal System. Kids don't know Dewey Decimal System. Like, we had, not that that's how you look things up. I understand.
Right. I'm like, what does that have to do
we
with?
had encyclopedias. But I'm saying the effort to look things up was so much greater. We just took because I said so as an answer. Now it's like they have Siri. So if you say because I said so, they're like on Siri trying to ask whatever it was they were asking you or do or say. It's like, it just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, no, because I said so thing, when those moments to me are appropriate is because I want my child to know that if I'm telling you to do something, you need to do it right away, because you never know if it's a life or death situation that I'm telling you to do something. You just have to do it. You can't stand there and ask me a bunch of questions, because now you hit by the car. Because you're standing there asking me fucking questions. Get up here. I need you to move like that because I said so. Because
I get it.
It's just those type of situations. But asking questions like how Brooklyn asked you that, I think definitely those type of things warrant some kind of explanation, not going too deep for her age range.
Right.
Yeah.
But what's too deep for age ranges anymore? That's again,
right.
Everything is so accessible.
Right.
Everything is so accessible. If your kid has any access to the internet at all, and they're in the internet
they
at
all
school,
do.
and they all do, you cannot go outside of a building.
Everywhere.
If they have any sort of electronic device, being a PlayStation, a DS, a Switch, any of these games, not even a cell phone, just any of these games, they have access to information. And they ask, and they don't even have to know how to spell or type, because most of them are voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember at a young age, Brooklyn was using the voice and Kingston was using the voice of play this and do that. And, And
it's made them lazy for sure. Kids are much lazier. They don't have to do a lot of thinking.
So as a parent, how do you counteract that?
You got to make them read for sure. You have to make them read books.
Real books with pages.
Yes.
Not Kindle.
No,
they can't read on it. So what's the difference? Would you not let your kid read on a Kindle as opposed to turning a page if they're reading? Or is that just our old mindset?
I'm thinking. I guess they can read. I guess they can read on Kindle. I guess it's the same thing. But like my kid, they like the books. Like what's the freaking Wimpy Kid series?
Oh yeah, the Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Yeah, we have all.
So
those.
they like the books, and thank God, like my kids, when they sit on the toilet a lot, they read books while they're sitting on the toilet. They got that funny. From their dad, because that's what Karan does.
Kids do what you do.
But then I caught Kal-El one day. He was sitting on the toilet and he had his phone. He was doing something on his phone, and I was like, nope. I was like, you can't sit on the phone with your sit on the toilet with your phone. Get the book. Gotcha. So now he knows you can't sit on the toilet.
Yeah, I don't make my kids, I don't let them take their phones into the bathroom, because Brooklyn was getting in this bad habit of taking her, like she just took the iPad from room to room to room, and that annoyed me. So it became,
like, sit it down
somewhere. It can only be in one room. You cannot take it to the kitchen when you're eating your breakfast. You cannot then take it from the kitchen to the bathroom when you're brushing your teeth, because you can't let it go.
Right.
So that's like teaching what our parents didn't have to have for us, because we didn't live in this world of technology. It's teaching them to disconnect from that world and pay attention, be present. Kind of like,
you got to be present.
Being present.
And know how to have conversations with people.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Kids don't know how to do that. They don't. Everything is I don't know.
What's the other thing that gets on my nerves? Two more things. Well, there's a lot of things, but I'll just say two more things. One is when you go into the freezer and the packages in the freezer are open. Like the waffle package is open, the broccoli package is open.
Me as much.
It does. It's
horrible.
oh.
It's horrible. But
what about
frost? Yeah.
Yes.
You know what about it? See, this is where you and I are
freezer
different.
bitten. I'm like, that food tastes gross once it's freezer bitten.
You're right. Freezer bitten. I don't even think that's a word.
Is that not
freezer
the right?
Bitten.
How do you say it? Frostbite.
Once it has ice on it. You guys know what we're trying to say.
Word.
Freezer bitten. No, I don't think.
Well, damn it.
But y'all know what we're saying. Okay, but I'm going to tell you where we differ from this. This is where the spoiled part comes in. We just go get some more.
Oh my God. That's horrible.
Yeah, it is horrible. It is horrible. But I'm saying that's where that doesn't bother me, because I did it, because I'll do it. But this is where we were raised differently.
See, and if it was freezer bitten,
yep.
And when I was a kid, and we would have to eat it, and it tastes gross.
And there's the difference.
So now, if it's freezer bitten and I make it and it doesn't taste right, I'm not going to make them eat it. I know that, because It's nasty.
Again, it all goes
But
back to your childhood experience.
they need to
because
close
if it
that
was
sh-
like
with-
that when I was growing up,
Well, why don't you close the stuff? What's the big deal,
what,
Cass?
why are you getting on me? We talking
Because
about
you
what
said
your kids get
you
on your
said that you do
I ain't
it.
at your house opening up
You
your
said
shit.
you do it. I'm trying to get in their mindset, and I really think this is more my husband who does this.
I think it's really your problem with stuff
think it's my
that has
husband.
ice on it.
It's like
think
close
you're the
the
only
package.
one with the problem.
Close the package.
Yeah, no.
Close the package.
Yeah, I don't. That one, I agree that everyone should do better about it, but I do not. I definitely, I'll start rolling it and then it won't stay rolled, and it's really more the waffles more than anything else, because everything else I am very good at Ziploc.
Yeah, I put them in a Ziploc
everything.
bag.
Yeah,
like
my
once
kids-
they open the pack.
Oh no,
I'll
my kids
put
will
them in a
Ziploc
Ziploc
it.
bag.
They'll Ziploc stuff back. It's the boxes of stuff that they won't. They won't. Yeah. So that, and we don't do a lot of frozen items. We do a lot of fresh stuff, and I go to the grocery store every 2 days, as you know, because we don't do a lot of Costco. I don't do the big amounts. I
yeah,
don't.
cause like,
again,
but what about your meat? Like your chicken and stuff. It's in the freezer,
I
right?
don't know. I don't like to freeze my meat, so I literally go to the store every
Oh yeah, no,
day
we're
or every 2
Costcoing
days.
it up, so we got a lot of frozen stuff.
Yeah, I don't,
Costco.
because I don't like things after they've been frozen. I feel like I like fresh stuff. So I buy differently. So we don't have a lot of meats in the
So
freezer.
you do have to go to the grocery store almost
I
every
go to the
day.
grocery store every other day. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, no.
absolutely. Yeah, because again, I want my things fresh. I don't want to freeze them. So I don't have the meats and all of that frozen. The things that are frozen in our things, like if we have ice cream whenever we do, which is not even that often.
But even when that's freezer bitten, it's
or when I'm making smoothies and I have all I'll put
Fruits.
like my fruits and my spinach and my kale and all of that in the freezer, then those kind of things will stay open. But most of the time the kids don't mess with that. So it's really more the waffles and their stuff. So I don't know. I don't have that issue as bad, but I do have cut the lights. They leave lights on, and that annoys me.
Well, Quran changed out their light switches in their room
Oh, you
to
did
where
tell me
they
that.
go off.
Yeah. I
So
probably
if
should do
they
that.
leave it on, the light just goes off. But it's annoying now because if you're sitting in the room or if they're sitting in there doing their homework,
the light
goes off.
Right. Well, that's good. Make their little butt get up and go cut it back on again. That's fine.
It's got to
good
wave your
exercise.
arm because there has to be movement in the room for the light to
Gotcha.
stay on.
That's fine. I
I
started
think it's
screaming
annoying.
light in their ear.
Yeah.
Like literally screaming it in their ear. And then it became a game where
then it was
whatever
fun to
kid, and then
them.
it was fun. And whatever kid I saw first after I passed the light, it didn't matter what kid left the light on or who left the light on. I would scream in their ear and they would go running, or if they saw me approaching them with that funny look in my eye, they knew somebody had left the light off. And then it'd be like, light. And then, yeah,
That's
and
funny.
they didn't like it. And so they started cutting the light off. Like we would be in the car about to leave, and then they would remember.
Oh, I left the
was
light on.
and they would go back in. So that
The
kind of
last
started helping.
thing that gets on my nerves, not the last thing that gets on my nerves,
Last
but the
thing we're
last
gonna
thing
talk
I'll
about?
say is a fucking crumbs.
Oh my God, her and these crumbs.
When I
The
say
crumbs get on my
that
nerves.
is,
She did a whole short about it.
it's horrible. It's horrible. And it still doesn't stop. No matter how much I've done a short film about it, I've done posts about it, I've had conversations about it, it
You're on
just
a
doesn't stop.
Crumb crusade.
It's like at that toaster, that toast pops up. They get the bread out. They get the butter. They spread that butter on their toast, and all those crumbs that are being.
Why don't you just get rid of the toaster? Why don't you just get rid of your toaster?
Because
and then
I need to use the toaster.
use your oven.
It doesn't go as fast. It doesn't go as fast, and it wouldn't matter because they'll put the bread in the oven. They'll still take it out, and they'll still spread the butter right there at the counter, and that's
that's
crumbs
where the crumbs
come
come
from.
from.
Putting the butter on the bread.
Oh well.
I should get rid of the butter.
You should get rid of the butter. It's not good for you anyway. My kids don't put butter on their bread.
I should get rid of the butter.
That's what it is. Get rid of
But
the butter.
those down that
You don't
and it's
really
just
eat butter like that, do
No,
you?
I don't.
Oh, well, then get rid of the
But
butter.
then,
There you go.
but my
Problem
husband
solved.
does.
Well, if he wants to have butter for his toast, then he can't put crumbs on the counter. If not, butter gone.
Hilarious.
I just feel like that's the solution, in my opinion.
Well, that's it. That's
So,
all I got
Motherhood.
for today.
Motherhood is interesting. It changes you.
It does. I
It
think
makes
for
you
the
angry.
better. It definitely changes you for the better overall.
Overall, it definitely makes you a better person.
It's a lot of annoying things about it, but
But
overall, it's
if
very
you
beautiful.
don't have parents, if you don't have kids, and you're not a mother,
You're so free.
You're so
and
free.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Those who are,
I am
those
so
who aren't
fucking
parents,
jealous of you.
I don't want you to listen to this podcast and be like, "Oh, my life is empty."
Oh
because
no,
I don't
I'm not
have a
saying
kid.
that at all.
Your life is fantastic. You should never say you're tired. You should always
Oh
want to
my
go
God.
out. You should still be working out. You should still be doing all this fabulous thing. You should still be having amazing sex with somebody, anybody, because you don't have kids. So there's perks in all of it. There's perks in all of it. So that's all.
Thank you so much for joining us on I Look Good Naked podcast today. Send your questions and your comments on the site. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.
I'm a boss chick, yeah, I'm a boss lady. I be calling shots, I be getting money. I'm a boss chick, yeah, I'm a boss lady. I be calling shots.